What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Anthony Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
Still in this Corona shit. Tired of it. I'm ready to get back into things, but I'd rather everybody be safe than sorry. And I know, I don't like to get political,
but we're absolutely gonna go out and buy some Clorox and inject it into our veins.
I mean,
so just so you guys know what our Corona plans are.
Just the fact that they're thinking of reopening shit like movie theaters, is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a thing,
and
it's a whole ass thing.
I'm sorry for going on a political tangent. I don't like being. That's one of the two things I don't like.
Oh no, I don't get political.
I don't like to get political or religious with friends and things like that. Those are the two things I always avoid because I'm pretty sure our friends all differ on those two things. Yeah, we actually have some friends that I'm not actually sure what their affiliation is politically, and that's the way I like it. That's why I like it because
but we don't. That's not what we're friends for. We're friends to talk about memes and other ridiculous, stupid shit.
Yeah, but where was I going with that? But the fact people that are protesting right now is the cure shouldn't be worse than the disease. It's we're not staying in for a cure. We're staying in to prevent it spreading. Yeah. Let's get that fact straight right now. Yeah. Because it's so stupid. The cure is killing the country. It's no.
My rights.
My rights is my rights. No, we're staying here so the pandemic doesn't get worse. Yeah. The fact that we have to stay 6 feet away from each other means that it won't spread to other people. And that little graphic that got shared on social media with if 3 people stay home, then it prevents
it's an exponential growth. People. It's ridiculous.
It's so dumb.
What we're really trying to say is use Clorox for your countertops. Yeah. And stay home.
Yes.
That's what we're really trying to say.
If they end up reopening a lot of things, I mean, you can go out at your own risk. But remember, it's not just you that this is going to be affecting. It'll affect people you interact with.
It's a butterfly effect. Is that the right use of that term?
Yes, it is the total butterfly effect.
Domino effect, butterfly effect, snowball effect.
I think domino effect is the better. No. Because butterfly effect.
You get what we're saying.
You get what I'm saying. So if you do your part, stay home, stay away from people, then this ends quicker.
Please, because I really want to go to Star Wars Celebration.
Yes,
so
that's pretty much what we're really trying to say. We want to go to Star Wars Celebration, but
I don't think it's going to happen.
So
but,
do you want to go?
Can dream.
Yeah. Do you want to go over the exhibition or the actual match first? Because I have a question from a commander that actually ties into the actual match.
I'd say because we don't want to talk about. Let's see if we're going in the same direction.
Okay.
I'd say because we're not going to talk spoilies. Let's talk about the exhibition first.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. So
that's why I got this on my finger.
So this Wednesday, the exhibition match for the Champions match.
Yes.
So all 4 belt holders, Alex Damon,
Star Wars,
IG with
Kevin Smets,
the teams and singles,
John Roca and Dan Murrell, the horsemen, the founding fathers.
Yeah, so all 4 of them went head to
head.
And
then Dan Murrell is a singles champion.
Yeah. So all 4 of them went head to head.
Yeah.
And overall, reaction to this, what would you say?
I would say.
So before you do that, sorry, I didn't mean to combo break you.
Combo breaker.
Those watching Ben's stream tonight will understand that.
Source subject.
You're in timeout. But anyway, so before when this got announced, what was your initial reaction? I should say. What was your reaction? Okay, so they announced this champions of all the title holders going head to head against each other. What was your initial
reaction? If I was gonna pick my horse and the dog in the race, whatever you want to.
What did you think of the match? Metaphor. Did you think this would be a good match? It's why are they?
What did you think? I thought it was going to be kind of like a kind of match because it's when you're talking singles, if you're taking singles and Inner Geekdom or Star Wars, it's kind of it's a little bit of apples and oranges. Yeah. So I was kind of expecting it to be just a fun, lighthearted. And not that it wasn't, but I was expecting it to be whatever. Probably, it's gonna lean in favor of Roca and Murrell.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not going to have a general match that leans like super heavy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or even Intergeekdom for that matter. Granted, Intergeekdom is a bigger entrapment?
Encompassing.
Words. It's, Intergeekdom is a bigger range than Star Wars, but still.
So a broader selection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck we were trying to say there, but I feel like if I was going to make my pick, it was going to be Merle.
Yeah.
No shade to Roka or anything, but I would pick Merle because he's singles champion and teams champion, and he's in the Intergeekdom.
Yeah.
And Intergeekdom does encompass Star Wars too.
Yeah, and even though he hasn't made his Intergeek debut, he has been studying.
True.
So, and that was my thought too. I was like, this is going to be unbelievably lopsided because
that's what I was thinking too. Like it was going to be in favor of Roka Merle more so than Kevin and Alex.
Yeah. But then I think they made an announcement that they're going to encompass some. It wasn't going to be 100% singles shit. It was going to be Intergeekdom and Star Wars stuff that get thrown in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe then it'll be a little bit less lopsided. But still, I was like, I think Merle is the clear favorite to going in this match.
That's what I would go with too. That's my prediction.
Now that this is aired, what were your thoughts on the match?
Now that it's aired,
spoilers.
Without spoiling, now that it's aired, I'm just like, wow, okay. It was a different match than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to talk about a match
without spoiling,
without giving anything away.
Just talking cryptically, like this match didn't go 100% the way I thought it was going to play out. This match surprised me in how.
Well, because we thought that Merle or Roka would run away with it, and I think it's good news that it was a good match.
It was a very, very good match. If this was like an actual like if this was like not a headliner but a match at like say Collision or Spectacular, I'd be
like a live event.
Oh yeah, like a live event match, like a specialty match for like Collider.
Maybe this will become like a yearly thing.
This would be fun to do every year.
Hell yeah!
Like an exhibition match that's available to everybody at like a live event or something.
Well, somebody on SCN today did ask, hey, at this point in my life, it's kind of hard to be an SCN patron and a Schmoedown patron.
Yeah.
Is it at all possible that these matches will get? Yeah. And Christian kind of was like, oh well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, so who knows what's going to happen there?
All this Corona shit going down, he's probably end up going to have to do that anyways. Just so, and that's actually something that we're doing too. Now because we discussed this with our Schmoedown play-alongs. We've done 2 so far. Both are available to the public right now. They're live on this channel. And we discussed so these 2 will be free just to give everybody a tease, and then we'll make them for patrons only. Then we had the discussion of, well, what happens if we make it available to everybody, but our patrons get it early?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's one. And this, I'm pitching this to you live as we're live to tape as we're taping this. I'm pitching you this on the spot. So what would you say of our play-alongs being available to everybody, but our patrons get them as we record them, and then the public gets them once per month? So say we have 4 play-alongs in the can. All of our patrons get that at like the day or 2 after I get done editing it. They get it immediately. But then every month we release it to the public. So everybody will be able to see it, but our patrons get exclusive first dibs.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I think that's a very it's balanced, so it's fair to everybody that doesn't necessarily want to be a patron for us. But even though you should, because, come on, support the channel, guys. Not saying that you have to, but it's not like you're being, you're not a patron, you don't get to see this.
Yeah, I'm all about inclusion.
Yeah, so because again, we're trying to think of things that are exclusive for our supporters, but I don't want to like, hey, all right, I don't want to like
I don't want to be like, hey, fuck you for not being a patron.
Yeah, but I also don't want to put a stranglehold on I don't want to be limiting our views for the channel. So this way we get the ability to get more views for us. But then we also have exclusivity for our patrons. So I think that I think we're gonna stamp that. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm down.
That's what's gonna happen.
I'm down.
Anyways.
But yeah, it was a really fun match. God, it's really hard to talk about something without spoiling it.
Yeah. I think the one thing I had no issues. Well, there's a couple.
I know where you're going.
There's a couple issues that I had with this, and I think they need to take a couple of cues from the fan leagues.
Yes.
My first argument is that the way that the competitors are framed, because again, I don't think anybody would cheat in this league. It's just the fact that their hands aren't visible. Because the one of the biggest rules for the fan leagues, because I moderated one for one of the Star Wars Championship for the movie Trivia Face Off, I believe. Yeah. And what their number one rule is, we have to see your hands at all times, just because if their hands,
you never know who's gonna.
If their hands are out of sight, their phone can be doing this. Granted, they can like look at their eyes and they can tell they're cheating or not. But the biggest rule was, we have to see your hands at all times.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I'll let you kick off, was the wheel round.
Yeah. So let me preface this by saying that it's whatever. I don't run the movie Trivia Schmoedown for good reason. This is just, disclaimer, something that we were discussing while we were watching it. Observations. It's what the fuck ever. It's whatever. So, do you think it's fair to discuss how they did round two?
Yeah, because we're not giving anything away about.
So round two, it was, I forget how many slices, but there was X number of slices on the wheel.
Let's say there was 12.
Let's say there was 12.
Yeah.
So let's say that, John Roca goes first. He would say, "Hey, announcer, I want number 2." The announcer just kind of had an arbitrary list of the categories in front of them and said, "Oh, okay, category 2 is
this
classics." Oh,
I don't want that.
I don't want that. I'm going to spin again. And then the announcer is going to go, "Okay, you got 2000s. All right, obviously they're going to take it."
Yeah.
Then the next person goes and it's much the same, except
he said
he kind of shuffles the categories.
Yes.
So, because obviously then you'd know what category 2 was. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
But yeah.
Otherwise, you'd know that category 2 is classics.
Yeah, and he said that he shuffles them after every time they choose, because then the chance comes up for them to pick that category again. Because that's the chance that you have spinning a physical wheel. You could spin that category again.
Right.
So he said after each time you drew your category, he scrambled the numbers again.
And I'm not really sure. To be completely honest, I'm not sure what mechanism he used to shuffle the categories. I don't know if it was all in his brain how he was shuffling them, or if he was clicking something to shuffle them. I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. But what I know, I just feel like such an asshole saying it. But if it were me, I would have, because it just felt kind of weird.
Yeah.
It felt kind of weird to be like, "Oh, well, you got this. Oh, you don't want that? All right, you got this."
Yeah.
Let me make it very clear that I, not for 1 second, think that anybody in this league
would rig it. Yeah.
Not for 1 second. Not a single person in this league do I think would rig it.
Yeah.
I think the integrity of this league is too high.
Yes. Absolutely.
However, people in the fandom
might think so.
I could see being like,
because,
"Well, that's not, objective enough," that kind of thing.
I don't want to. It's hard to talk about it because there is. I don't even want to say it because
I know what you were gonna say.
Yeah, you know exactly what I would say, because the way certain things.
Yeah, the way certain things shook out, whatever. The way that I would have handled it had I been in charge, but it doesn't fucking matter because I'm not. But it's fun to just say.
Christian listens to the show, so he.
If he still does. But I don't want it to be disrespectful either. I just want to make everything very fucking clear.
Yeah. This is just observations, because he's said before, he actually took a piece of our advice before on the show, because that whole thing with the den with Grayson and Kate going up to Ben during the second round. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is brought up by the Dimalantas. You can't do that anymore."
That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That is pretty cool. It's a little good old pat on the back for us.
Yeah. If I was the one running this match, instead of being like,
"Hey, pick a number.
Hey, you got this. Oh, you don't want that? All right, you got that." I know that their integrity is such that they're not going to just give whatever they want to give.
Yeah.
But if they want to, knowing the fan base and knowing that there are a lot of people out there, they're going to pick everything apart that you fucking do. And they're going to find a flaw in anything that you do.
Yeah.
I think what I would have probably done is had like a
bowl
hat or a bowl
Yeah.
or whatever.
And have all the categories.
You know, fucking bin you want to use. And I would have written
all the categories
on a separate slip of paper. And I would have said, all right, here's my fucking
and
fish bowl.
put it in the middle of the camera so everybody can see.
Put it in the camera and say, hey, Kevin Smets, you ready? And he go, yeah. Shake my fucking bowl. All right, you want to spin? Cool. And then I'd open it.
Camera. Yeah.
And I go, hey, you got rom-coms. And then Kevin Smets would inevitably go, fuck that. Cool. Let me fold that back up, put it back in the fish bowl, shake it up. All right, cool. You got biopics.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. That way it's like real time. Here's what you fucking got. Not just what I told you got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because there's whole, again, not that this would be something that would happen. It takes out the possibility of rigging and cooking the books.
Not that we're going to do that.
Not that we're going to say anything.
Just to take out the possibility of people thinking that that's what you did.
But also the big point of the wheel round is chance. It leaves a whole lot up to chance.
It sure does.
And picking numbers doesn't make it as random as saying taking it out of a bowl. In
this kind of a situation with the weird StreamYards, whatever they use.
And not guaranteed, but if for some reason this is the new format where we have to do StreamYards because we can't get together and do studio matches anymore, they're going to have to iron out all this shit. And this is one of the things I can definitely see people going, oh, no,
hey, that's not fair.
No,
I can't believe that person got their strength and that person didn't.
So you have to think about these things. And if for some reason this is the way we're doing things now, you're going to have to do it that way.
I feel like the most objective way is to have a hat.
And show it in real time.
And just show it in real time. Yeah. This is what you fucking got. Nobody can accuse me of cooking the books or whatever. You got this. Yeah. Okay, you were spin. You got this. Yeah.
And like the way that they did, like, all right. So he said he shuffles the. Now I don't know why I did air quotes of course there, but like he
shuffles.
He said he shuffled the numbers even after they said, oh, I don't want that. I want to spin again. And he said he shuffled the numbers again. This way, actually, you don't have to do that. It's just you
just put it back in. Shake it up.
There's equal chance that he can get that category again.
Just like on a physical wheel.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that was my biggest gripe about this match was that just the wheel round was very like wonky.
It just felt kind of awkward.
Yeah, it felt very awkward. It felt less. It felt like less was left a chance for that because you're picking numbers instead of. It being picked for you, if that makes any sense.
I agree.
So I think, but like, it was a fantastic match. Like,
it did not disappoint.
It did not disappoint.
Absolutely
without
not.
Spoiling anything. And if you're not a patron of,
you should become one.
You become one, and just for this match, it's totally worth it. And you have to be a member of the.
Is it 1 or 5?
I think it's the $10 tier that you have.
Oh fuck! Yeah. Sorry, I'm the asshole.
Yeah, because and if you become a $10 tier, when we do start getting back into the swing of studio matches, which I really hope it's sooner than later, do your part, stay home. Yeah. I think once we start getting back into that, Harloff said that he's going to double down on matches. He's going to double down on live streams. And
Let's do our part.
And if you're a member of the $10 tier, you get all the live streams automatically.
Yeah.
So because it was like before all this COVID stuff was happening, it was like we got like maybe 2 throwdowns a year.
Yeah.
Now it's looking like we're going to get one every other month.
I know.
Just to catch up.
I feel like the bang for your buck with being a patron.
It's
once all this stuff starts evening out, I feel like the bang for your buck is going to be like exponential. Like you're just going to get
you're going to get so
more than
many,
what you bargained for.
And like it's just like cuz he said that they film maybe like once a week or once every other week or something like that, and they film maybe like 6 matches a day.
Yeah.
He said he's going to do it twice. He's going to do a film on Saturday and Sunday and film something upwards of like 20 matches in a weekend.
Fuck.
So, and if like maybe 2 of those, like maybe 1 of those matches for every weekend that he's taping, that will be a live event. So you're going to be, the $10 tier is going to be so much bang for your buck.
Hell yeah.
So I would totally recommend that.
That match, no spoilies. Who knows? We both pick Merle. Maybe Merle won.
Yeah.
Maybe he came in last. I don't fucking know. Well, I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you. Who knows? You're gonna have to either be a patron or I don't even know.
And another thing to do for the patron, because for our play-alongs, we wanted to do the MCU one. We wanted to do because I said before that if I was to go into Geekdom besides Star Wars, MCU would be my next best category.
Same, even though not great.
Yeah,
me.
And we said we'll do a play-along to that, but they were like, wait a minute, no, because the patrons and we don't know exactly which one of our patrons are. Even though the crossover would probably be 100% of our patrons are also Schmoedown patrons.
Who knows?
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do that plan line, but it's going to be an unlisted link that we're going to post in the comment section of that patron post.
Discord.
Or also put it in the Discord. So for everybody that is a patron that's getting these Patreon matches and able to see them, will be able to watch us play along with that match. So I think it's going to be a fun little thing. And hopefully that draws people into watching our stuff. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I'm good at win. I haven't seen Doctor Strange, and I also haven't seen the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, no, actually, they did release a schedule for when they're releasing them. So I think...
what other movie have I ever... I've seen all the other...
You've seen all the Avengers.
I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I haven't seen second Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that it? Black Panther.
You haven't seen Captain Marvel.
I haven't seen Captain Marvel.
You haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home.
I haven't seen...
The second Spider-Man.
No, yeah, you're right. I saw Homecoming, but not Far From Home. I forgot that even came out. I've barely watched Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is an MCU.
I'm the asshole. I need to watch Black Panther again because I watched it and I did not pay attention. I just know that there's a flower that makes him really strong.
Let's just run through. So you saw all the Captain Americas, all the Iron Mans.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Incredible Hulk? It's been a long time.
Ed Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
You saw all the Avengers. Mm-hmm. You haven't seen Doctor Strange.
Nope.
You've only seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Black Panther you saw.
Halfway.
Spider-Man Homecoming you saw.
Yep.
Far From Home you did not see.
Nope.
Captain Marvel you didn't see.
Nope.
Anything else am I forgetting? I think that's it. Oh, Ant-Man you saw. But
I did not see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You did not see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So.
Yeah. So I think you have like 5 movies you got to catch up on?
I got time. I'll watch them.
We'll see. You got to look up the schedule because it's coming out soon.
Fuck. So we'll look up the schedule.
I mean, I would if it's plot based. I think I'd do pretty well. But again, I'm terrible with names. So I might just go brush through on IMDb and that's that. So
I know some names. It depends.
Anyway, so that was the exhibition match. I think
it was great. It's worth it. It was a good time.
It was far more competitive than I thought it was going to be.
Far more competitive than I thought it was going to be.
And I was surprised by a couple of people, to be quite honest.
Yeah, who knows?
Wow,
any one of these guys could win because. I mean, they're all belt holders. None of them are slouches.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that was the question pool because it wasn't all like IG questions.
No.
Or what? And the IG questions weren't so ridiculous that Dan and Roka would be like, oh, why that's It's like they had no chance of answering.
Yeah.
It was the question pool was very fair, I should say. So that's why I think why this match was very competitive in my opinion, and the fact that Alex actually spoke about this. I think it was on Ken Knapsack's birthday stream that they were talking about the exhibition and how he thought of it, and he's like, "Yeah, I went into it being fun, but once we got 2 questions in and everybody's getting really competitive,
it's fucking real."
And he's like, "Okay, this is real. I want to win."
Yeah, I want to win.
So
and honestly, with it being a mixture of all the 4 divisions, even though I kind of lump singles and teams together, in my brain it's 3 divisions of question pools.
Again, we've always talked about this. The difference between teams and singles division is
I think it's the same question pool. I could be the asshole.
It's I think the only difference is the strategy. That's the biggest difference between teams and singles because you have to play off each other.
So I think it's really just single. And I could be wrong, whatever. But I feel like singles and teams is probably more or less the same question pool. And then you got IG, and then you got Star Wars. So it was an even distribution.
And while we're on the subject of difference between the divisions, I don't know when Jeff Snyder made this comment because I want to comment on this. I definitely want to comment on this because this actually did offend me.
Yes.
It honestly did offend me, even though he's not attacking my division. It's attacking a division that I'm thinking of going into. I don't know
it's
when
a division that's near and dear.
Yes,
in a way.
Yeah, and I have no idea when he made this comment. And again, I might just have to take this with a grain of salt, but he made some ridiculous comment about how the IG is basically a joke division, in so many
I don't
words.
know if he said joke, but I think he more or less, in so many words, said that Inner Geekdom is an easier division because it's got this many movies as compared to this many movies for singles and teams.
I guess in so many words he said, like, why is this a division? Why are we, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I'm paraphrasing. I didn't actually read the post.
Very much paraphrasing.
I heard it and I immediately like, and for all I know, this is because Snyder is a true troll.
Oh, he's king troll. He's
a king troll basically. And I took offense to this because if he thinks that way about an IG division, which I don't think you can, you can't look down your nose at a division like the IG.
Not now. Because not the way IG is now.
No. And a big reason is that it's like, yeah, it's a different division, but it's like, yeah, you're narrowing your movie pool, because I could never swing into singles or teams.
Oh, hell no.
Maybe in teams because it depends on who I'm partnered with, and they can just carry me through matches. But singles, absolutely not, because
hell no.
I couldn't debate.
So many movies are like, what?
But divisions like IG and Star Wars, yeah, they're more your movie pool gets narrowed down, especially for Star Wars. But the questions are far more detailed than singles and teams. Singles and teams, like, this is a perfect example. Ben Bateman doesn't watch movies to study. He says he goes to the IMDb, he goes to directors, actors, movie release dates, and he's made his career.
He treats it like a science.
He treats it like a science, and that took him to a title. So you can do that with singles and even so teams, because he's on a really great team that they've made a really good run at it. You can't do that with IG and Star Wars. You have to commit time to watching the movies, studying the plot,
picking them apart.
There are far more plot-driven questions in the IG and Star Wars than there is in teams and singles. Teams and singles is a lot of actors, directors, movie release dates, and things like that.
Yeah.
Writer and all those kind of questions. You hardly ever see that in Star Wars ever. Like 98% of the Star Wars questions are plot based.
Not real world shit, like actors and locations and stuff.
You very rarely see that shit in Star Wars. You see it more in IG, but even more so.
Not by much. But
by much. The only time I've been noticing this watching singles matches and stuff. I would say 80%. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on my math, but like 80% of 5-point questions are plot based. And that's when they really get down to where you have to watch the movies for 5-point questions.
Yeah.
And you see that all the fucking time in IG and Star Wars. So he might be just saying this to get a rise out of people because that's Jeff Snyder.
I feel like that's probably more of what it is.
I think it is an outlandish and ridiculous and disrespectful comment to make, because you cannot downplay the dedication that somebody like Kalinowski,
Rachel Cushing,
Alex Damon,
Hector Navarro,
Laura Kelly, me, and pretty much everybody in the Star Wars division. You cannot downplay the amount of dedication you have to compete in those divisions. So
it's I'm almost kind of like, well, if it's a joke because there's a limited number of movies, then how about you compete in it?
How about you jump into it? And
if it's easier, then you do it.
Yeah. So I just think
that's what makes me think it's more of like let me just poke the bear and get a rise out of people.
So
because if it's that much easier because it's that much smaller, then fucking do it. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of more of a I just want to get a rise out of people.
And that's another thing that, like, when people, because this has been talked to death about fans. It's like, why is Star Wars a division? It's like, all right, if it's so easy to compete in Star Wars, because I've seen this comment of like, oh, if you just sit down and study and like do that stuff, anybody can compete in the Star Wars division. Bullshit, you can do that.
I'm not sure about that.
Bullshit, you cannot just study the movies like that. The level of dedication you have to to compete, just to get into the Star Wars division, you have to have watch the movies, and you have to not only watch the movies, you need to love these movies to compete.
Case in point, Ken Napzok. Is anybody going to dispute how much Ken Napzok knows about Star Wars? Yeah. He wrote a fucking book about it
that I just finished, and it's an awesome read and an awesome listen, so you go pick that up.
And even he is like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That says volumes. Yeah, if I'm going to be honest.
Because the Star Wars division is not only dedication to the trivia. If you don't love these movies, you're going to get sick of them so quickly. Yeah. So unbelievably quickly. I cannot tell you, like, even before becoming a competitor, I lost count how many times I've watched all these movies.
I'm right there with you.
So that's my little rant about something that has been said about the IG, because when I heard about that, I'm like, whoa, that's I really took offense to that comment, because if he thinks of that way about IG, I can't imagine what the way he thinks about Star Wars. So
yeah, probably a fair assumption.
yeah, so that's my little rant. Let's go ahead and get into this match between not two rookies, but
Claudia Dolph.
Claudia Dolph.
Because Claudia Dolph is a rookie.
Yes.
And she's going up against the Warfather, who is not technically a rookie.
He's making his debut in singles because he debuted in IG last season.
So let's first just, get this out of the way. That Claudia Dolph, she was, and I think I got this right. She was drafted initially by Kaiser in the dungeon. Then got traded for Video Drew
to
Burnett with the Droogs. Then Burnett traded her to Corruption for Somerville,
which blows my mind.
Interesting move.
Very interesting. Like, wow.
So it's just kind of crazy that you would trade for somebody that already has a loss in their record for somebody that you've never even seen compete.
And this is where, like, Burnett, it's not only the fact that he's trading for somebody with a loss on record. Burnett really isn't a coaching manager. You know what I mean? He's not like Kaiser is a perfect example of a coaching manager.
Very much.
And I don't see Burnett doing that, because I don't see him like, oh, I'm going to bring her and I'm going to coach her up and do that stuff.
Like investing the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see the logic behind this move with this trade.
An interesting move.
It could shape out that he knows exactly what he's doing, but I just don't see it right now. It's very, very weird. That move.
And it's interesting that somebody got traded twice before anybody knows what they can really do.
Yeah.
So we got the Warfather representing the Droogs.
Yes.
And then we got Claudia the Diamond Dolph representing Corruption. So Warfather, he comes out with Robert Meyer Burnett. That's it. I was almost kind of slightly impressed that Robert Meyer Burnett was there.
He hasn't been present for, I believe, one match.
Yeah, so that's probably not even fair to say, but whatever.
It was a Deep 13 one. He's shown up for more matches than Sam Levine has.
Oh, shit.
So,
and then Claudia
got that going for him.
Claudia walked out with Shannon, the Queen of Corruption. So, round one. I don't really have any actual specific notes on questions on what they missed and whatever. But at the end of round one, it was a tie. It was 4-4.
This is a very even match.
Yes.
And it
might be a lower scoring match by the end of round one. Yeah. Could be argued. But it was still exciting because they were very well matched at the end of round one.
And I was curious to see how Warfather would do in singles, because I can't remember how he did in his IG match. I don't think he did
what?
great.
Let me just go ahead and say I'm the asshole. I don't even remember who he faced. I'm the asshole.
Oh, I can't even remember. Wow.
Wow, what a bunch of dicks we are.
You can go on the Wikipedia for it.
I could, but maybe later. Round two.
Yeah.
So round two, Claudia goes first. She spins musicals and she says, fuck yeah. So she stays with it, and guess what? She not even just runs through the category, she sprints through the category. She gets everything, no multiple choice.
This was fucking impressive.
Very impressive.
And this is musicals isn't a tough category. It's one of those oddball categories.
It's a category that most competitors would probably spin away from,
because it's not necessarily tough. Like, if you know musicals, like apparently Dolph does, you run through it really quickly.
Yeah.
But it's an off-ball category that not everybody's familiar with. It's like, I mean, rom-coms is a very loose, weird category, but dance movies, musicals, disaster movies is I would categorize as an off-ball category.
Yeah. Festival darlings and shit like that.
Festival darlings is more of a tough category than an oddball category, because there are some festival movies that go on almost like an Oscar run, if you can categorize it like that. So that's more of a tough category than an oddball category. But the dance movies, the musicals, the disaster films, there's one that I'm missing. Oh man, I don't know, but like categories like that, like people usually steer away from them because they're not popular movies. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So she gets musicals. She fucking
That was
decimates that category.
I like when she ran through, I was like, wow, that was impressive.
Wow.
Good for you. Wow.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So Warfather goes. He spins dance.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and tell you. He spins away.
That was one of those off-ball categories.
He spins away, and he gets Scarlett Johansson.
Not the best.
Not
but
the
not
best
the toughest.
category, but he doesn't really have a choice. So he goes to multiple choice twice.
Mm-hmm.
One gets stolen. He gets the other one. Not too shabby for a category that you probably wouldn't have taken in any other instance.
Yeah.
So by the end of round 2, it's 9-13 in favor of Claudia because she fucking rails that musicals category.
Warfather isn't like, I don't think that he's a Scarlett Johansson movie type of guy.
No, but what was there? 4 questions?
Yeah.
That must have mean he got multiple choice for 2 of them,
Mm-hmm.
got one missed, got one stolen, and then got the other 2.
Yeah.
So, because otherwise I would have probably taken a note if he missed it.
Yeah, but like, I think clearly his strengths are IG categories, so I think he was just hoping for those. I honestly think that I don't know. I guess it was just like, oh, dance movies, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, like I doubt he's seen any dance movies, so I think that's probably why he spun away from
You
it.
don't know. Don't assume.
Well, as quickly as he went, nope, and he spun it,
he
spun
did
it again.
He did say that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
9-13 in favor of Claudia at the end of round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Round 3, Warfather goes first, naturally, being the one that's down. 2 points, Warfather. Spielberg. He gets who plays Matt Hooper in Jaws. He gets it.
That's it. Yeah.
3-pointer to Warfather. Famous actors and actresses. Something about Cary Grant in North by Northwest.
Mm-hmm. You got that one though.
I
Didn't you?
did. I'm pretty fucking cultured. So he missed it. How embarrassing. Please don't take me seriously because Warfather would absolutely crush me.
He looks tall.
Physically and movie trivially. 5 points to Warfather. He got Tarantino. He got a Kill Bill. The answer was about a gun being hidden in a cereal box.
That was.
And
yeah.
he fucking just went yoink
Yes,
and pulled it out.
And that's one of those things where, again, subjectivity here. Like, again, I noticed a lot of 5-point questions are plot based. So, and I've seen Kill Bill like 3 times.
I've never seen it.
So you're like, what? I don't know. And I'm like, oh,
What's Kill Bill? Who's the bride? Am I right? I know who the bride is, at least.
Who is
The
it?
bride is Uma Thurman.
Yeah, but
I can't name a single other person in Kill Bill, ever. Is there any other people in Kill Bill?
Lucy Liu's in it.
Whatever. She's in Charlie's Angels.
No, but like if
All
you've
right,
seen it,
ladies.
but like again, it's like all subjective. You saw the movie. That's a pivotal point in the movie. Like, and it's like a baller place to hide a gun. So I was like, wow,
It is.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
because she was pretending to prepare like a snack or a breakfast for her kid, and she's pouring the cereal and she's slow burning it too.
Wait, so there's somebody in her house that
Yeah,
she's
so
like
she-
not feeling safe with?
So no, what happens is like I forget who plays the character, but like,
Uma Thurman?
No, the other one. But like Uma Thurman's taking revenge on this group of people that beat the shit out of her on her wedding day or whatever. So
Oh, boy.
so she's picking them off one by one, and by the time she gets
Hot.
to by the time she gets to this one person, because this is years later, and
Good for her.
the person she comes to, she has a kid, and she just come home from school, and she's like, I want to fix you a snack, and like a lot of this is just them talking, and she's slow burning and slow playing it.
Yeah.
And but she's preparing her snack, and
Yeah.
like she goes and she's eating, like you think she's just fixing that, and it turns out, oh, got
You
a
think
gun.
it's just Cap'n Crunch?
Yeah, but she
but-
has a gun in there. I'm like, oh,
It's a 45.
So-
It's a 22. 22 wouldn't do anything. It's a 45 at
yeah.
least.
But like, yeah. So if you saw the movie, it's like, oh yeah, duh, it's in the cereal box. But if you didn't see the movie, you're like, how the fuck would I know?
I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. Maybe it's hidden
it's
in
just-
like a
yeah.
fucking soup can, for all I know. Clock? They have clocks
Yeah, but
that
I
hide
think that's
things.
a genius place, especially You know, because they're like, oh, I'm just gonna pour my syrup. Ah, bam, you're dead. Yeah,
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyways.
you, Uma. Good idea.
Wasn't with them
Gonna
when they did
use that one.
was not in with them. Who did that.
So he gets it. He pulls it.
Yeah.
He just
Good pull.
pulls it.
Very good pull.
So now it goes back to Claudia. She gets her 2-pointer. It's modern classics. Who plays Harvey Dent in Dark Knight?
God.
And we both said, fuck. I can see him in
I
my
know
face.
We know who it is.
In my head?
He's got a very forgettable name. Every time his name comes in a question or comes
because
up in a
I can
question,
see him. I can see him right here.
oh, it's Harvey Dent. It's like,
It's Harvey Dent.
yeah, it's like,
And he Rachel.
oh,
he screams about Rachel the whole time. I can see his fucking head. Whether it's in half or it's whole, I can fucking see it. But Aaron Eckhart is an easy name to forget.
it's his name, and it's like no slight against. Oh, I saw that for our audio listeners, almost
How
dropping the phone over here. But I was like, I can see his face. He's just no slight to the actor. I just forget your name all the time.
I could see him,
It's like,
but I was not getting it.
Yeah.
100%. I couldn't pull it. It's
And
forgettable.
Neither could Claudia Dolph, apparently.
Wow. 3-point for Claudia. 2010s. Some question about something named 100-foot journey. 100-foot journey? She misses.
Don't
Not
know.
surprising because what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
So she misses. 5-point for Claudia. New releases. Now, what stings the most, in my opinion, here is that the question is about Mary Poppins Returns. She just fucking railed musicals in round 2. And one of the questions was about Mary Poppins,
Poppins, yeah.
the original one, the better one. Then
Even though we haven't seen the newer one.
I haven't seen the newer one, but I can confidently tell you that the
I think that's
original one is better.
I think that's a general consensus that the original is better.
I mean, granted, the new one wasn't a remake; it was a sequel.
sequel.
But fuck it, right?
Oh, come on, Emily Blunt's amazing. I love Emily Blunt.
I'm sure she's a nice girl, but you don't touch Mary.
Can I
Poppins.
sidebar and say like Krasinski and Emily Blunt are like probably my favorite couple ever.
Yeah, they're pretty adorable.
They're pretty funny.
They're pretty cute. Like, I kind of wish we could be buddies.
Yeah.
But don't touch Mary Poppins, Emily. Even so. Even if we're buddies.
I heard she was good in it.
She probably was, but, you know,
Can't
Mary
wait for it.
Poppins is a cornerstone of my youth.
A Quiet
So-
Place 2, cannot wait for that movie.
Haven't seen A Quiet Place.
I loved Quiet Place. Oh, so good. You gotta watch it. I think I have it on Blu-ray.
Cool.
I?
Maybe we'll watch it.
Should.
I don't think
Great.
you do.
I think it's on my wish list. I think that's what I mean. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you
love
do.
that
I
movie.
would have remembered seeing that.
I love it. You gotta watch it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyways.
Anyway.
Tangents,
She gets a 5-pointer on Mary Poppins new releases. Mary Poppins Returns. I don't remember exactly what the question was.
It was I don't
Something
even-
about finding like a banknote.
Yeah, so it's like they find like a banknote. Where do they end up finding the banknote or something like that? Paraphrasing.
She
obviously,
misses
sorry.
it. She misses it.
And this is
And
crushing.
that's the match
Because-
because it's a musical and it's Mary Poppins,
No,
something that
but
she had already
what is-
ran through.
What is crushing is she went from a possible TKO, a possible 3 points for corruption, to a defeat and 0 points for corruption.
Yeah, so it ended up 13 to 16
That
in
was-
favor of Warfather.
It's like that has a
and
thing.
the Droogs.
That has this thing. You run through round 2. You give an all right round 1, but then you like fucking bring it back in the second round, and then
Yeah.
you crumble in the third. That's tough. That is so
it's
tough.
rough because corruption. Oh,
What?
I just deleted something that I didn't want to delete.
Do undo?
It's whatever.
Hit undo.
Do I have undo in
Yeah,
my?
it's right there.
Where? Oh, wow.
Boom.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here. I love you for that.
Why are you deleting things as you go along?
Because I was deleting things we already talked about, so I
You can't
wouldn't
just
have
scroll.
noise to, distract me.
Okay. All right, man. I'm not going to argue with that logic.
So, in the post-match interviews that we were warming up to,
Probably.
more or less, I don't fucking know.
I got distracted by you deleting things.
How embarrassing. I think we were saying how the corruption
Yeah.
needed the points.
Corruption definitely needed the points because their only win so far is in that number 1 contender match.
It's corruption.
Yeah.
The team.
Yeah.
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 So yeah.
Team corruption. I think they're being called team corruption. And they got like. Do we get an extra point for number 1 contender matches now, or is it?
No, I don't. I think that was
that
the whole thing. Was that no, you don't.
No. You're thinking of the loss for a title shot.
I don't want that to be bookmarked. Fuck you.
But I think that. Yeah, I think they strike because I thought you got a point for number 1 contender match, but I think they did away with that for some reason.
Right, because remember the whole thing with Finstock Exchange?
No.
Am I just
You're
misinterpreting?
misinterpreting. You're thinking of going to a title match. If you lose in a title match, you would have gotten a point anyways, and they did away with that. But I think at some point, a win for a number 1 contender match got you an extra point. But I think they did away with that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well,
but
I don't know.
But
I'm not the person to ask. My name's not Christian.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a 3 points that they absolutely needed because I have no idea they were at the bottom of the leaderboard, weren't they? They only had 2 points.
Well, let me just tell you that since the movie trivia Schmoedown is now in my favorites on my phone, we got I don't know when this was last updated. Oh no. I turned off screen rotate because I fucking hate it sometimes. But Finstock Exchange is at 16. The Den is at 10. Swag is at 7. Mm-hmm. Droogs are at 4.
Oh,
so is that updated?
No, I think no. They should have 6 now, I believe.
I
don't quote me on that because
Frankie.
I don't know if they've updated this since.
I don't know.
Actually, no, they can't because they updated on a Saturday because everybody sees this on Fridays.
Oh, I'm the asshole. It's a Friday that we're doing this.
So it's Friday, so it should be updated tomorrow.
How embarrassing.
Excuse me.
How embarrassing.
Burping up all over the place.
How fucking embarrassing. What are we even doing here?
So they should be at 6 and corruption again is at 2. So where are they as of right now, as you're looking at the leaderboard? So they're in last place. They really needed these points.
They did. They sure
really
did.
Needed it. So like now the argument is because before last episode we said, does the dungeon and the rock stars get out of this hole that they created for themselves this early on? Do we see corruption digging their way out of this?
Like Shannon said, nice segue because in the post-match interview, Shannon said Claudia, whose nickname is the Diamond. I don't remember if I said that before. But Shannon says that Claudia is a diamond in the rough. Just needs some pressure and a little time to shine. And then she'll, be a star or whatever. Shannon says it's a marathon, not a sprint, which I wholeheartedly agree with in the Schmoedown and in life.
Yeah, but Corona, this might have to end up being a sprint to the end now.
That's the only thing, because it's kind of a monkey wrench, because you're not getting as many matches as you would have.
But again,
who knows when this is going to fucking end if people are fucking drinking Clorox now? Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe all this doubling down on matches and like filming twice every weekend would help us catch up. So you never know. But as of it stands right now with how many matches we're getting and how close we're already getting into May.
Yeah.
So
it's almost mid-year.
Yeah. So how quickly things are moving along now, and we're not even so many matches in. Right now, this is going to be tough to come back from, because the only one you have now is with corruption going up against Founding Fathers. Who knows when we're going to get that? Yeah. The way that Dan Murrell and John Rucker are playing right now, they've reached new levels, and I don't know if Chance and Kalinowski can match that.
I would not count, not to throw any shade at Chance, but I would not count Kalinowski out, because given the way he ended his last season,
he's hungry.
It didn't end well, and I cannot imagine a guy like Mike Kalinowski being like,
"Oh well,
whatever." I don't know, and especially with Shannon being as invested as she is right now.
Yeah, that too.
I imagine, because I'm not even a manager, and I'm fucking hungry. I'm ready to drill people into the ground on his behalf. And I'm not even a goddamn manager. So I can't even imagine what Shannon is feeling. Given the fact that Kalinowski did not end the season well, she's probably on a warpath on his behalf because I know that I fucking am on his behalf. I'm ready to fucking crush people. You know what I'm saying, baby? I'm ready to fucking crush people, and I'm not even on the desk.
I fucking love it.
Anyways.
Hey, man, I'm ready to get back into it, too, because I'm just, like, before, like, we had this conversation off air, and we might as well have this conversation on air. I'm worried that since Star Wars has so few matches now to begin with, and now with all this Corona shit happening, now they have to play catch-up with all the other divisions. Who's to say I get another match until Celebration? Who's to know?
Who's to say?
Who's to say we don't even get a Celebration match?
Exactly. Celebration, I'm trying to be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't want to say it, it's Celebration in August is probably going to be canceled. I think in the last Beyond the Schmoedown, I was like, what? Comic-Con's in June. It's July, right?
Yeah, it's July.
So the next month after that is what?
August.
I don't know. August.
And
that's when Celebration is.
And on that note, it's Comic-Con is harder to move back because Comic-Con is gigantic. It's not just confined to one arena like Star Wars Celebration is. It's all over San Diego. So to move things around for that is harder. I would say it's easier, quote unquote, for my audio listeners. You can't see my air quotes.
Quote unquote.
It's easier to push back Celebration because it's confined to one arena.
True.
So it's more possible that it'll just get delayed and pushed back. Maybe it gets pushed back to December. So then we get that feel of Star Wars in December again.
Wouldn't that be nice? Because then it wouldn't
fantastic.
be like ball sweating hot.
Yes. So
I mean, I don't know. I don't live in California.
It's indoors.
I don't know.
Even though it's indoors.
But you gotta walk in your cosplay.
But back to my point that like, if Star Wars Celebration does get pushed back, who's to say that we won't get that 5-way that we would have gotten?
Very true.
And we wouldn't get that live event.
And
so
off the topic of Star Wars, the thing that I'm kind of concerned about is, watching this Patreon match between the 4 champions, the 4 current belt holders. The thing that I'm concerned about is, God knows how long this quarantine is gonna go on for.
Yeah.
It could be another month. It could be the rest of the fucking year. Who
really
knows? But the thing that makes me nervous is the teams division and how it's going to be affected by the StreamYard. I don't know. Did he use StreamYards? I don't know.
Yeah, he used StreamYards.
Let's say he used StreamYards. How do you do a teams match on StreamYards? How do you let teammates confer on StreamYards? Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure Christian has thought about it because he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But after watching that Champions match, it's like,
it's possible to do it.
How do you, you're both in different, I mean, if Andrew and I were on a team in the teams division, cool.
Yeah, we can do that.
What's the answer? But if you're in 2 separate homes, how do you confer with your teammate?
I mean, maybe
so I'm concerned with how the teams division would fare if the quarantine continues on for an extended amount of time.
Who's going to say that if things do happen, who said, like Christian goes, you know what, we were going to do an Intergeekdom tournament over StreamYards. He looks at all these exhibition matches like, well, we that dynamic is still there. Let's have a Star Wars tournament over StreamYards because 50% of the Star Wars roster isn't even in LA.
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense given Alex Damon, he's in Georgia.
Yeah.
Joseph Scrimshaw, he's in California. Laura Kelly, she's in Chicago. Andrew Dimalanta, he's in Orlando. Sean Sullivan, where is he?
He's more north than that. I can't remember where.
He's not in. They are in California because they go to the tapings.
They're in California, but they're not in LA.
Well, they're not in LA, so he's in somewhere else.
Yeah.
So some of your most of your top contenders, they're not right next to the studio, so that would make sense.
And this is my biggest concern for me, at least. The Star Wars division is different now because it used to be you get one match under your belt and one win, I should say, then you go for the title. But now that we have more competitors, and Christian has said this before, that you're going to have to go through a couple of players before then.
Yeah.
Because every time my name has come up against, like, who can beat Damon, somebody would drop my name in. And then it's like, and Christian not only loves, he always continually throws my record back at my face. It's like, Dimalanta's 0-2. He's got to work his way back up.
But, facts are facts.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that, but my worry is that since all this Corona shit is going down, I'm probably not going to be able to get those matches under my belt this season. And that's my worry, that I won't get my chance at Damon because of the few matches that we already have in Star Wars, and I won't be able to book those matches to get to Damon to begin with. So
that remains to be seen.
And who knows? At the very least, I might just have to get 2 wins and then go to Alex. I would say at the most 3. It would be ridiculous if I had to go through 4 people to get to Alex.
Considering that everybody else had to win one match to get to a number 1 contender.
And he always says, Dimalanta's 0-2. He's got to work his way up to Damon.
Yeah.
Need I remind him that Scrimshaw was 0-2, one in Chicago.
He was also 0-2,
and then went to his title shot in the very next day.
Yeah.
Granted,
Laura was 0-1. She went straight to a title shot.
Granted, the division was different last year, and now we have more competitors. Now I'm
to harp on the Star Wars division, but
I'm just upset and nervous that I won't get the number of matches I need to get to my title shot that I'm absolutely fucking hungry for. And it's upsetting that it scares me that I won't get that chance.
It just sucks that this is going on right now, and it's going to affect all the divisions. Yeah. I mean, it's affected every single division. Mm-hmm. It hasn't only affected Star Wars. It's affected every single division. And that's the thing that kind of sucks, because there's probably rookies that are feeling the same thing you're feeling. Like, well, when am I going to get my shot? When am I going to get my match? Christian hasn't contacted me.
And again, I don't mean to harp on Harloff saying, oh, Andrew's 0-2. But, again, I don't think my record is a reflection of of my ability in the division. You know what I mean? It's not like I got blown out in both of my matches.
Yeah.
I sound like a broken record every time I bring this up, that my matches are last points, last questions. And they're all hard. The questions that I've lost on in both of my matches aren't easy ones. No, Stas Ali, not an easy one.
Even Damon said that if he was in your match against Laura, he would have lost because he didn't know that last question.
I would argue my second loss, the question that I didn't know, was the hardest question ever asked in the division. Yeah. I would argue that.
Let's not harp on Star Wars because we don't want to sound like assholes here.
Anyway, so is there anything else in this match that we have to go over? Because I already have something I want to say about this match that we failed to mention at the top of it.
Shannon says that, corruption, they're underdogs. And, we probably forget that they have championship players in their ranks.
Absolutely.
In Mike and Chance.
Absolutely.
And that they have people like Mike and Chance to coach their new players like Claudia.
Yeah.
So she was, pretty much saying, let us not forget. And then Claudia says that, she's not going to let it get her down. She's going to keep on moving forward, and she's going to keep on getting better. She's going to use this as a learning opportunity, as would anybody. And she's going to use it to move forward and get better. That's the extent of my notes.
Yeah. So there's one thing that we forgot to mention at top of this, that pre-match scene with Chandru and Smets.
Yeah, that was cute. I don't know
really
that
cool.
They probably don't want the word cute to be used to describe it. But I thought it was.
I thought it was good. I thought it was one of those cutscenes that, again, the cutscenes are amazing.
It was really good. I thought they both did a fantastic job of acting this.
Absolutely. Chandru did really well because he's like, oh, I don't like, he's like being really playful. Then it's like he flipped the switch. It's like,
yeah, he flipped the switch pretty quick. Like,
oh my
god,
really
that fucking belt cover.
That was really good.
Yeah, and then he goes right back to, let's make a TikTok. However you do the fucking dances the kids do.
And I think this is why Christian says lean into that. Like,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, you can be. It's like you might not think of yourself as a heel, but you do have heel tendencies.
Yeah,
lean into that because this scene is a perfect example of that because it's like you can be like all bubbly on the surface, like, oh hey,
and then
man.
be like, hey man, I'm gonna fucking strip that belt right off your fucking body.
I think if Chandru. I think if Chandru
keep
leans
it warm,
into...
bitch. I'm gonna take that fucking belt, bitch.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. But I think if Chandru leans into this type of character, I think he could take this really far.
Yeah, because I like how he was like, Chandru, happy-go-lucky Chandru, heel. Chandru, happy-go-lucky Chandru. He kind of like
morphed
reeled
into
it in a little bit, and I really enjoyed that.
Somebody made this comment on SDN or something that like he should be like a Jekyll and Hyde type of thing, where like you can have the funny like, but then like he sort of morphs into.
I kind of like that.
I like that.
I think he could handle that really well.
Yeah, and I think this scene is a perfect example of that, and the way that he can play this character, and I think that's really like he's like in front of everybody, he's like this happy-go-lucky guy, but then behind closed door, he's like, "Listen up, bitch." And like,
listen up, baby.
Yeah,
keep that belt warm for me, you little bitch.
I think this would be a cool little character dynamic for him.
Yeah.
So
I liked it a lot. That was a really, really good cutscene.
It was a fun cutscene. I really liked it, and I think Christian actually tweeted it out. So if you didn't watch the match, you can at least see the cutscene.
Yeah.
Because by itself, it's awesome. But yeah, anything else you want to say about this before we go into Patreon topics?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. So sorry, I just burped there. Sorry.
How embarrassing.
Sorry. I'm trying not to burp in the mic, but I just did. Okay, so
embarrassing.
So we don't have anything, but this kind of that discussion that we were just having about characters and things like that. We have a question from Ferris Mathana. Squadron Commander. And if you want to be a squadron member of the squadron, go to patreon.com/Andrew and Nicki, NICKI, to become a member and support this channel, support our podcast, support everything that we're doing for you guys at least. And Squadron Commanders at the $20 tier you get to dictate the conversation in all of our weekly shows for Beyond Schmoedown and Going Rogue. So Ferris Mathana says, okay, so Warfather got me thinking about those players who have a gimmick. Do you think it's hard to do the match while keeping keeping up the gimmick?
Yes, I absolutely think so.
Absolutely, 100%.
And I think this match is an excellent question, an excellent example for which to ask that question.
Yes.
Because when did it happen?
I think
it was the second round. So the first round, it was 4-4 at the end. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like neck and neck, obviously.
Yeah, and Warfather's like had that like video Drew type of thing, like
Warfather says, that kind of
this
thing.
This answer says, say the Warfather.
Which I was kind of like, oh no, honey, no. Please don't do that every fucking answer. But who am I? Yeah. Second round comes around. Claudia fucking knocks her category out of the park. Mm-hmm. And Warfather is kind of scared into the whole TKO territory.
Yeah.
I believe that if you watch this match, because Claudia goes first, mm-hmm. and she kills her category. Yeah. When you see Warfather in round 2, he's a different character than he was in round 1. Mm-hmm. He is more serious. He's less jokey. He's less Warfather-ish.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Things are getting real here.
Yeah. And he doesn't get back into that sort of character until after the match is over.
Exactly. So I feel like if you have a character that's like super in your face, mm-hmm. it's really hard to maintain if you're not winning all the time.
Absolutely.
Because if you start getting backed into a corner of like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose this, then you're going to kind of drop your game a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're not your game. You're going to drop your character a little bit mm-hmm. in favor of bringing up your game a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really difficult, it's a tough dance.
Yeah, and
to having such a strong character.
Yeah, and that's sort of the double-edged sword that we have with the Schmoedown. It's because not only is it a trivia competition, it's a show. You have to be entertaining. Because if you're not entertaining, because a perfect example of this is the Wildberries. Yeah. Wildberries, not the best competitors.
But they always put on a good show.
They always put on a good show. That's why they keep getting matches booked, because they're so entertaining and people want to see the Wildberries.
Yeah.
And that's why when they got broken up during the draft, everybody was, I think you can actually see me in the corner of the screen saying, like going, what the fuck? What? When that pick happens, when they finally get split up. But like, I think it's so unbelievably hard because coming from a person that's been behind the desk twice already, and you can see me in my first match, I try to be a little entertaining with getting jokes with things, but it's just so hard.
It's hard
to switch your mind, like, oh, make a joke and then I'll get yourself back into match shape, so to speak, to answer these questions. The only 3 competitors that I've seen do this successfully, keep their character and keep their trivia up to par, is Tom, the Barbarian, and Lon Harris.
Yeah.
With and Lon
Video Drew probably in there too.
Yeah, Video I put there in too, but like keeping your like on top of your knowledge.
Yeah.
Because Lon is a newer to that because he's answering questions right, and this might actually be better for his gameplay. I said this when we went over the match that looser character allowed him to be looser and answer questions quicker and come to those questions quicker. So it's such a hard balancing act to try to stay in character and then also recall all the answers and stuff. So I absolutely think it's so hard to do.
I think it's very hard to do.
And for the competitors that do it very well, like, geez, kudos to you. And all these competitors are in the singles division.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, like that's really impressive that they were able to do that. But yeah,
it's super hard.
Thank you for the topic, because yeah, I mean, very few people are able to do it. I mean, Ben Bateman, I would say, is another one to keep the character, but like it's also like
the way he does it is different.
It's different. It's not like
he's got a more subtle approach.
Yeah, but like characters,
Warfather is very in your face.
Yeah,
like with the nature of his character, Ben Bateman is more subtle.
It's subtleties.
He can kind of like lay it on thick and then pull it back and still be true to character.
Yeah, Guy's another one.
Warfather, he kind of lays it on so thick that you expect him to be the Warfather the whole time.
Yeah, and Guy's another one that I'd say kind of plays with the character, but then again, it's not like he's playing a character. So
he's Bateman and Guy both have this amazing ability to lay it on, but then pull it back when they need to. I feel like Warfather,
he's playing it like. So like here's the, like Kevin Smith is another person that I would say sort of plays a character, but not like a true 100% character. People like Lon, Tom, and Warfather, those are 100% character.
You got to be that character 100% of the time.
You know what I mean? Like Smets is just a heightened version of an aspect of who he is. Andrew Guy, Ben Bateman, Roca, people like that. It's just like an extension of who they are. But like people like Warfather. Warfather is probably the perfect example of this. It's an absolute fabricated character.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know how they do it and keeping up with that act. But yeah, anything else that you want to talk about? Because I think we're pretty much going to wrap this episode up. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. Thank you for our patrons, especially our squadron commanders, Ferris Mathana and Tamar Butter. Thank you for your continued support. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Twitter. I say things on twitter.com. I'm Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. Please like and comment on this video, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to be notified when we go live on Tuesdays on Going Rogue, our weekly Star Wars stream. Again, you want to become a member of the Patreon, member of the Squadron, go to patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki. And also go on, and if you're an audio listener, go on to wherever you listen to these podcasts and rate us. It's going to help us tremendously for more people to find this show and also find our Star Wars show as well, because our Star Wars show goes on in audio form on this podcast feed. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and wrap up the show up. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you
next time.